Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at not one, but two Michael Keaton Batman from Mcfarlane's DC Multiverse, the upcoming Flash movie. We have got the regular version and the unmasked version here. Why did I buy both when they are basically identical except for the neck and head? I mean, I'm the idiot that Mcfarlane was targeting. They knew dumbasses like me would buy two of these figures, even though they're basically identical. Even the accessories are the same on both of these. I did it. There you go. I'm their target audience, and I bought both of them. But we've got them here in standard Mcfarlane packaging. We do get some little, kind of animated Michael Keaton Batman artwork on the back, which looks pretty cool. But all in all, we got these two figures here, so without further ado, let's go ahead, crack these guys open, and see what we've got inside. Alright, so we got them out of the package, and accessories are pretty bare and standard, so we get the obligatory cards and stands. We do get extra hands, and again, these are the exact same accessories for both of them, so you get the fisted hands there, and then they each come with their little grapple gun and batarang, which are very, very soft plastic, but whatever. Don't care as much about that stuff as I do the figures themselves. We've got both of them here, and as you can see, they are both pretty much identical from the neck down. Okay, that is basically what we've got here. Now on these two figures here, you can see the neck piece. On this one, the part of the cowl here is different than on this one. It looks more like he's kind of wearing a medallion around his neck with the bat symbol on it, like it's a gold medal or something. That allowed them to change out the neck so you can have the flesh tone neck and do the head. So you've got your Michael Keaton with the cowl off. As far as the head sculpt, I heard a lot of people complaining about this head sculpt. And profile wise, that looks like Michael Keaton. From the front, it's a little different. It's not horrible, but it's not great. It's not as good as Mcfarlane did with The Rock on the Black Adam figures. I think it's perfectly fine for what it is, but it could have been better, I guess. But again, they're both identical, and then we have, of course, the head sculpt for this one right here, which looks fantastic. I think they did a great job. Looks great. Cowl looks good. We've got cloth capes on both of these, which is really nice. So you've got a nice cloth cape on there, just like the old school figures would have had. Oh, look, it's Batman's ass. There's not a lot of sculpting on this guy, but given the costume, there really shouldn't be. We do have some sculpting there on the boots, and we've got some line work there on the legs and on the abs. You've got the gauntlets there, which look pretty good. It's a pretty simple figure. There's not a lot going on here, but I think it works for this version of Batman. You watched Batman back in the day, 89 Batman Returns. I mean, his costume was not that complicated. It was fairly simple. There wasn't a lot going on with it. Even in the second movie, it was a fairly simple costume. Really, the only thing that I don't like about this, and it has nothing to do with the figure, it's just how it is in the movie, which is, I really wish he had the yellow belt. I really do. We just get a solid black belt. I may actually do a little paint work on that to get that yellow, because I think it should be yellow, just like it was in the old movies. But I mean, it's a solid figure, man. One thing I noticed directly out of the box was the ankles. They felt great, very well ratcheted. They feel nice and tight, which, Mcfarlane kind of is hit or miss with their ankles, and this one looked and felt great. Other than that, it's standard Mcfarlane articulation. So there's not really a lot to go into here with the double jointed knees and elbows and standard hips and basically everything across the board, heads on a ball joint. There's not a lot to go over here. It's basic stuff for what you would expect from Mcfarlane. And it is a fairly basic figure, as I said, but I think it works really well for the character. So, I gotta say, articulation's good, sculpt is good. There's no paint to speak of outside of the symbol on the chest, but, it fits the character. So on all 3 points, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Let's go ahead, throw this guy up with some other figures and see how he stacks up. All right, so first to compare him to a couple of my favorite Batman figures I have in my collection, of course, on the left, we got Mcfarlane's Three Jokers Batman. On the right, we have DC Essentials Collectibles, or Collectibles Essentials, whatever it's called, Rebirth Batman, both in 7-inch scale. Obviously, the Three Jokers Batman, as most people already know, is a very big, tall figure, so he is slightly bigger than the new Keaton Batman, but honestly, not by much. This new Keaton Batman is pretty damn tall. He comes pretty close to being the same height as this one here. And it looks great. I mean, you know, it almost, in a sense, doesn't even really look like a Mcfarlane figure. If that makes any sense when comparing it to these other two. He almost doesn't look like he's from either line. He almost looks kind of like a NECA figure, if I'm being honest with you. Just the aesthetic of the figure itself, when comparing it directly to a Mcfarlane figure there, it doesn't really feel like a Mcfarlane figure, which I'm okay with. I don't have anything against Mcfarlane, but it's a good figure, even though it doesn't really scream Mcfarlane toys. And of course, we got to throw some villains in here. So of course, we got Joker and Deathstroke, both from Mcfarlane. And I think this Michael Keaton Batman, 89 Batman, the classic, the original, looks absolutely fantastic with these two right here. Deathstroke is a little bit taller than him. Joker's a little bit shorter than him. I think that works really, really well. And I think he's going to look fantastic in a Batman display. And then, of course, for some 6-inch scale comparisons, of course, we got SH Figuarts Joker on the left. And then, because I don't have any other 6-inch scale DC figures, we've got Punisher from Marvel Legends there on the right. And you can definitely see the height difference here. You can see how much bigger and bulkier he is than a 6-inch scale figure. So if you're hoping you can fit this guy in with a 6-inch scale collection, probably not going to look great, but this at least gives you a little bit of an idea what it's going to look like. All right, guys, let's talk price here real quick. And these guys go for 25 bucks a piece. Obviously, the unmasked head is a Target exclusive. I picked them both up on pre-order for that 25 bucks when they first got dropped. Got them both at Target. Is it worth it? And I would say that's twofold. Definitely for the standard Batman, 25 bucks. It's a great figure. I mean, there's not a lot going on here with paint and sculpt, but it's exactly what you want the character to be. Hands down, it's worth it. The unmasked head, is it worth it? That's kind of up to you. If you're a big enough fan like I am, I do think it's absolutely worth it. I like having the unmasked version of it. But in all honesty, I mean, this really should have just been a head swap here. But of course, we know good old Uncle Todd wants his money, and idiots like me will pay for it, and I did. So I got both of them. So unmasked version, Target exclusive, that really is up to you whether or not it's worth it. It was for me, but you may differ there. So look, I really like these figures. I think the guy looks great. I've been wanting a really, really good Batman 1989 Michael Keaton version for a long time, to the point that multiple times I've almost spent the ridiculous amounts of money that the NECA figure costs on the secondary market just to get one. But I gotta be honest, having seen that figure before, even though I don't currently own it, which is why I can't do a comparison, I gotta say overall, I think this looks better. One of the things that bugged me about that other figure was the head was just way too big for the body on that NECA version. And this one, not at all. This is a great figure. It's very simplified, but it's a fantastic figure. This is a good Batman figure, and I'm very, very glad to finally get a, 6 to 7 inch scale Michael Keaton Batman in my collection. Something I've wanted for a very long time, and to get one that looks this good, I'm very, very happy with it. So I've got no complaints at this point. I think they did a great job, and I couldn't be happier to finally get this version of Batman on my shelf. So would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know. Do you want this figure? Do you have this figure? If you do have him, what do you think of him? Let me know down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and always remember to enjoy your collection.